there getting some sun too, huh?
Yeah.
You might want to go first.
That's some sage advice, Mr. Pasty.
Wait, don't misunderstand.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth releases on February 29th, a leap day, which makes this a special Thursday. So I decided to look back over the last 50 years to find the biggest releases on leap days, and try to spot some fun similarities with our new Final Fantasy game while I'm here. To begin the list, I traced back and found the very first recorded leap game. Navarone is an arcade game from 1980. This game is so old, it came out before storylines existed. Yet still, FF7 was inspired by it. For example, left and right movement, Navarone's got it. Shooting guns, that's from Navarone too. Gacha gambling. Navarone is an arcade game, it basically invented gacha. In fact, this is nearly a perfect game by modern standards. The only thing it's missing is Pokemon with guns. It only released in Japan, but that's a perfect segue to our next game. 1988, Donarudo Rando was released for the Famicom, the perfect mixture of American and Japanese culture. A true American hero, Donald McDonald, comes to Japan to spread American ideals and wipe out the Gumon tribe using his signature weapon, the Apple Bomb. Final Fantasy would later go on to reference this with Avalanche's bombing of Shinra's Maka reactor. Thinking about it, Donald dropping A-bombs links nicely to our next game.
There is no shame in deterrence. Having a weapon is very different from actually using it.
Nuclear Gandhi is a reference to the game Civ 2. It released 1996, 28 years ago, 7 years young. The same year I was born. And boy, damn does that feel bad to say. The most famous thing about Civ 2 is probably Nuclear Gandhi himself. The story of Gandhi's AI having a bug that would cause him to start launching nukes without provocation. And just like my YouTube persona, it's fake. The bug never actually existed, even though everyone believed in it. But still, Civ 2 and the original FF7 are iconic to their generation, and heavily feature references to oil and nuclear weapons. And you know what the only thing that survives a nuke is? A cockroach. Released on the exact same day, in Bad Mojo, you play Roger, and you're trying to run away to Mexico with a briefcase full of cash. That is, until you're transformed by a magical locket into a cockroach to explore the slums you live in.
Get him out of me! What are you doing, bro? Get out!
There's a few different endings to this game, the worst being that you blow the apartment up with your landlord still inside committing manslaughter, which bears a resemblance to when Shinra dropped the Sector 7 plate and killed all those innocents. And the best being where you discover your landlord is actually your father, and you escape with him.
You're my father? I don't believe it either.
Much like Cloud escaping the plate drop with Tifa and Barrett by his side. Right, for our next bit, this is going to be an any percent speedrun. Let's go. Pokemon Play It version 2. Back when you couldn't patch your games post-release and some of the worst 3D models in gaming existed. Army Men World War, which can't decide whether it wants to be on this list or not because there's tons of contradicting resources on when it actually came out. Rayman 2, very specifically the Dreamcast version released in North America. I don't want to see a single comment about any other region or any other console. Fate Stay Night, Real to Nua, Heaven's Fill. No, I didn't have a stroke saying that title, that's legit, and if you want a plot summary, ask Gigok. And now from a famous franchise and YouTuber to the most famous family in America. The Simpsons Tapped Out from 2012. This game starts with Homer being distracted on his MyPad, which causes a nuclear meltdown and wipes Springfield off the map. With Homer's help, you've got to make Springfield great again. A true American tale. You do that by spending your time or your real life money to rebuild the city. Can you tell this is an EA game? And just like Shinra, EA is a money-hungry corporation that will leave you a soulless husk, just like Cloud. In fact, while I'm here, there's so much garbage in EA's library, it's a perfect metaphor for the Midgard slums. For the penultimate game, we've got Automobilista. This one's just a fun game, apparently. I don't play racing sims because I don't have a will, and there's no way I'm going to try and play with a keyboard and mouse. I'm not a masochist, so we'll move on quickly from this. Finally, for the final game, of course I need to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The final second game in the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, which by my maths means that's 14/3 final, which is pretty final to me. I can't even lie, I'm quite excited for this game. Not to play it, because I don't own a PS5, but because in 2 years' time, it's going to be released on Steam, and I'll get to buy it, to add it to my collection of the games that I don't have time to play because I'm busy spending hundreds of hours to research funny YouTube videos. Speaking of funny YouTube videos, I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.